Ta-da! It's winter. Just the other day, I brought out my big fluffy coat. I guess it's a really good thing that I did. Yay! We got our very first snow of the season here in the Hudson Valley. They were calling for rain, but we got a little surprise. There is nothing quite as cozy as being home with a hot cup of tea, looking out the window at the beautiful snow. It fell so quickly, I was really surprised. But then just like that, it disappeared. So I'm glad we got to have this little snow day. I harvested some green bean seeds from the garden, and I'm so excited because this is the first time that I've ever done that. Normally every year I just go out and buy my seeds, which is kind of wasteful when you really think about it when I've got seeds in my own yard. So I made an effort this year to go out and collect what I could, and now that they've dried out, I thought that they deserved a very pretty little envelope to go in. Every year I'm getting a little bit better at being a slightly more organized gardener, but in this case, this is a great example of how not organized I actually am. I don't remember what kind of green beans I planted this year. I know that everything I planted was a climber rather than a bush bean because it just works out better with the space, and I also think they're just so beautiful climbing up all around the other plants. So I just wrote green bean because that's all I can remember.
You got this because you're brave.
I was happy to welcome the snow, but Charlie, of course, wasn't thrilled about it, but he braved it anyway. You're just gonna go right here, huh?
You ready? Okay. Come on. Okay. Let's go. Brr. Up.
Oh, they're so beautiful, these trees. The leaves are pretty much gone. It's pretty bare out here now. And yeah, I'm gonna be sick of the bare trees come, I don't know, February probably. I feel like February is the turning point when suddenly I'm done. I'm done with winter and fall and all that kind of stuff, and I just want things on the trees. But for right now, they're like little works of art. Every tree has a different shape, and they're just, oh my goodness, when the light hits them, they're so beautiful. I need to pull out my light box because I just need to start preparing myself for gray in case that's what we get. But for right now, so grateful for that sunshine. Oh my gosh, thank you, sun. I get asked the same few questions over and over again about my walks in the woods. So I thought I would take a few minutes to sit down in the woods and answer those questions. I'm sitting out here in the sunshine, just breathing it all in. This is a trail that I almost never run into people on, which I love. I have, to answer some questions, nope, I have never seen a bear on this trail. I've seen bears on other trails, but never on this one. Not that I'm always aware. I hear the chipmunks and I'm like, I'm always aware, but not like in a anxious way, just for sure. I mean, this is a perfect place for a bear to be. Like, yes, they could definitely be here. Well, they are here. They're here. It's just I have never seen one. There's enough space here for them to stay away from me. But I love this trail because of the emptiness. I had people ask, do I like to hike with other people? I love hiking with other people. It's just that, and I do hike with other people, with friends, but it's just a totally different experience when you're with other people. When I'm with others, I feel like we're just laughing, we're having fun, and you're still getting the benefits of nature. So it's still soaking into your body, I feel like. But when I'm by myself, it's literally like I'm plugging something in, like I'm plugging my body into the earth and just energizing myself. And I think part of it is just the level of my awareness of what's around me. Like even when I'm with friends, I'm still aware, but I'm more aware when I'm by myself in a good way. So I love to do both, but I need my walks by myself, which leads to my next biggest asked question. Aren't I scared? And no, I'm not, but not like in a naive, just nothing will ever happen kind of a way, because I actually have had a couple little instances in my life that for sure freaked me out. And I carry pepper spray, and I always listen to my intuition, which I know not everybody thinks that's like a valid thing, but my gut is very strong at telling me yes or no for certain things. And there's been many times when there's been times when I've gotten onto a trail, not at this park, but I used to live about an hour from here on the Connecticut border, and it was on the Appalachian Trail, right where I lived. Like my backyard was the Appalachian Trail, which was awesome. But there were times when I would enter the trail and just sometimes for like literally I couldn't tell the reason why. I just felt like, not today. Other times there were things that did kind of give me like a little, like sometimes I would see there was a little dirt parking lot off of a road near the Appalachian Trail for like 2 or 3 cars. And you'd always see kind of the same sorts of cars, not to stereotype what hikers drive, but you'd usually see like pickups or Subarus, often not newer. Just I was used to seeing a certain look of a car. And every now and again I'd show up and there'd be a different sort of car. And even that would just trigger to me like, I don't know. And not always, but sometimes that little feeling would creep in and I'd be like, no. Or I'd start to get on the trail and start walking, and yeah, the feeling would come over me like I'm being watched, which I probably was being watched by something, probably by a bear or maybe a mountain lion, who knows. But it didn't happen all the time. But if it happened, I always listened to it because it's just not worth it. So yeah, it's rare though. And I'm not hiking out on like 30, 40, 50 mile hikes. I'm doing like 5-mile hikes usually. So yeah, I used to, when I was younger, run. I preferred to run, and I would run at night, which is of course not very smart, but especially in the summer, I just didn't like to be hot. I don't do well with heat. So I would wait till the sun would set, and in the summer that would be like 9:30, and I'd go on a run, and it actually felt peaceful to be out at night. It was quieter, not in the woods, but like in town or in a neighborhood. And I was living in Montreal, and I did have an incident where someone started following me, and I stopped running, started walking. He stopped, was right up behind me. I assume it's a he. I could feel his breath on my neck. It was terrifying. I was about to turn down a street and run and just start screaming when a minivan pulled up to me, which now looking back could have been a really great setup. But it looked like a total mom driving a minivan, and she was like, "Someone's following you. Do you want to get in?" And he was gone. Whoever was following me was suddenly gone. He must have hidden in the bushes. So I got in with her, and I lived like a block from there. She dropped me off, and I was terrified for like 6 months because he would have seen where she dropped me off. So I slept with a knife under my pillow for 6 months until I moved away from Montreal. But yeah, that taught me a really good lesson. Do not go out alone at night, no matter how. I was on a pretty well-traveled road, so I didn't feel like I was putting myself in harm's way. But I was really young, and yeah, I learned my lesson with that one. But ironically, the only other time I have had an incident on a trail was just like a couple months ago, on a rail trail. In the Hudson Valley, we have a lot of rail trails that run. Some connect onto each other, but they're flat, they're paved, they're usually very well traveled by people. And I was out at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, so bright daylight. And I hit a stretch where I was by myself for a little while, and suddenly I saw somebody coming. I could tell she was either mentally disturbed or high on drugs, or maybe both. And as soon as she saw me, she started barking like a dog, and she came running at me and then just started hitting me like all over my chest. And I was trying to get my pepper spray out, but she had big glasses on, so I couldn't even like get to her face anyway. But thankfully, thankfully I kept my cool. And she grabbed my arm and started pulling me. And I just flipped her around and was like, no, 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 you're going this way. Remember, they want you down there. And that was enough to redirect her, and she took off. But that's the only time I've ever been attacked on a trail. And the funny thing is, I have friends who tell me, don't go in the woods, go on the rail trail where it's safer. But I've never had an incident with a person out here in nature where I've felt unsafe. I've had so many nice meetings with people. I find people out in nature to be, well, they're nature lovers. And so often I find other women who, I have nice conversations with, and literally I'm trying to think back. I can't remember any time where I've been frightened by somebody out on the trail. So that doesn't mean I'm not going to be careful, because you should always be careful. But yeah, it's something that I don't know what the percentage chance is. You know how you could probably look that up. Like there's a X% chance that you could have a problem based on the statistics of how many people who have had a problem. But I almost feel like I'd have a higher chance of having a problem out more in urban areas, or in suburban areas even, where there's more people around you than out here. I've always kind of had the theory that somebody probably doesn't want to hike up a really tall, big hill or mountain to kill you. But again, you don't want to ever be too overly confident. So I am calm when I'm out here on my own, but also aware. And when it comes to bears and things like that, I'm definitely always aware. I'm probably more aware of that than of people. But so yeah, that's the answer to the question. I get that question a lot from other women. And I would say this though, I have a lot of friends who they're terrified to go out on their own in the woods. They won't do it. And I wouldn't ever say I would try and convince someone to go do it, because what's the point of going out and feeling terrified? That's not a healthy thing to do. Like, this is very healthy for me because I'm not terrified. I'm comfortably aware of my surroundings. But if you're terrified, then that's your gut saying no, and that's okay. I'm just waiting for someone to come walking up behind me while I'm talking to myself. And then they're going to be scared because they're going to be like, a crazy person's in the woods. Okay, let's continue this walk. These chilly, dark, short days are perfect for cuddling up on the sofa, and also for enjoying some fire cider, which it's definitely past time for me to make a batch for this year. I was so happy to find that my garden is still offering up lots of rosemary and thyme, which are two things that I love to put in my fire cider. Fire cider is very potent, and it can be used to take as wellness shots, or I like to use it in my salad dressings. You can search online for all different kinds of recipes for fire cider. I personally like to include both onion and garlic because they have antibacterial and antifungal properties, and they're really high in antioxidants, and they're really good for detoxifying the body. So that's where I like to start, with onions and garlic, and there's really no right or wrong amount. I like to just kind of fill it up. I use a whole onion, and I think I used about 8 or 9 cloves of garlic. And then I like to add in some citrus. Some people will use orange as well. I used just lemon, which is high in vitamin C. It helps to reduce inflammation in the body and can help with digestion. And then here comes the rosemary and the thyme from my garden. Rosemary is so powerful. It's got really good antibacterial abilities, antiviral, antifungal, and thyme is an expectorant with great antibacterial properties. It can help support the respiratory system, all good things for the winter. I then load in some fresh ginger root, which is a great antioxidant and has anti-inflammatory properties, and also is great for indigestion. I just also love the taste of ginger, so I stuck a lot in there. I then added in 2 jalapeno peppers, which are great for increasing circulation, boosting the metabolism, and good for immune system support, along with some turmeric, which of course is really great as an anti-inflammatory for the body. I put in 2 tablespoons of powdered turmeric. I wish I had fresh, but this was what I had, so this is what I used. That's a little heavy on the turmeric for this size jar, but I also really love turmeric. I then threw in just a little bit of cayenne pepper, which is really good for your upper respiratory system. It can help clear out anything that you might have stuck Once everything is in the jar, then you go ahead and fill the jar up with apple cider vinegar, making sure it's the kind that has the mother in it, just covering everything up, and you might need to smush it down a little bit or give the jar a shake so that everything can be really covered. And then that's it. You're just going to let it sit and do its thing. Ideally for about a month, but 2 weeks even would work. It just wouldn't be as potent and delicious as if you let it go for a month. And then just make sure to grab it every day and give it a good shake. Looking good. And this was a bottle that I had made last year, but at the end of the month, you're just going to strain out all of the bits and pieces and save the liquid. I then like to add in some olive oil to make a salad dressing, but you could also just store it as is and take a little shot of it every day, thinking of it as like a wellness shot. But I'm here to say that it makes for an incredibly delicious salad dressing, especially if you opt to add in a little bit of honey. I did not have the best week thrifting anything too exciting. I found a few pots for my flower babies that I grew all summer long. They're ready to go in some soil. So I was happy to find pots that didn't break the bank and ready to get them planted.
You guys all said, go get the painting that I shared last week that I found in a thrift store that I love. And my decision is I will 100% go get it. But I had to stop first and think of the things that I really need right now. Because of course, this is Wednesday and Friday is Black Friday. And as we all know, the Black Friday sales start the week of. So there's all these things on sale and so many practical things that I really need. So I had to stop and really think about it, because the painting in the thrift store, it's not thrift store, it's a consignment, antique store really. I never spend more than like $10 on things that I buy used. So I think the painting was, I can't remember if it was $125 or $150. So for me, that's like a lot. So, but I decided that if I can do it, I'll do it, because I really do love it. And everyone said what I was kind of thinking, which was when you love something that much and it seems that special, it's probably a good sign that it is. But I had to stop and order a few things that are so boring, nowhere near as cool as a painting, like some new bras and some new socks. And I also really needed a new pair of warm boots. And I decided that was more important. So much less fun than the painting, but more important for right this minute. So I got a really good sale on some really warm toasty boots. I had tried to thrift boots, like warm fuzzy boots, a few months ago. I found some at Goodwill and I thought, oh, perfect, that'll take care of my winter, because around here it's cold. You need to keep your feet warm. If you have warm feet, you're gonna be happy. So I thought I had taken care of the problem for like $7. I was so excited, but they ended up not fitting me properly. So since there was a sale at Eddie Bauer, I think I got them from Eddie Bauer, some shearling boots, I'm excited to have warm toasty feet this winter, and that'll keep me happy. So yeah, between the boots, the bra, the socks, very, very practical and necessary and luxurious things when you have nice boots on your feet. So we'll see. That means I'll have to wait a little bit, and when I'm ready to get the painting, if it's still there, then that's the answer. It's mine. And if it's not, then that'll mean somebody else has it on their wall and loves it. So we'll see what happens.
As always, my friends, thank you so much for being here and for watching my little videos. I appreciate you so much. And I believe this is going live on Black Friday, so it may be that you're out finding some fabulous deal. I hope so, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.